Hello everybody, fluff my hair a little bit. My name is Nina and I am a Scottish artist living in the south of France. And in today's episode, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I knitted last year. So grab yourself a tea or a coffee or your knitting or whatever, just to get really cozy, and I hope you're going to enjoy this episode. Stay. Okay, so I've basically rearranged my whole living room to get a little bit closer to the window because it's been raining for days, and finally we have a little bit of sunshine today. So if you could only see the chaos around me, it looks probably quite serene from this angle. Well, have a look. That's what's actually going on in this room. Anyway, so today I am going to talk about each of the garments that I made last year. In no particular order. I won't go into too much detail about each one because, well, you can watch a whole video. There's a whole video on each of these garments. So if you're interested in any in particular, you can go back to my channel and find the video related to that garment. But I think I'm going to talk more about like the actual wear of it. First of all, the inspiration behind knitting it, and yeah, did I wear it? Did I not wear it? Am I finally happy with the outcome? So one thing I did note last year is that I feel like I've done quite a varied selection of knits in terms of different kind of styles and techniques. So I've got a few lace sweaters. I've got a couple of cardigans. One is a crossover cardigan. Then I have a full color work and a shawl, one plain jumper, and then one with a bit of cable and bobbles, a vest. So actually I realized, not intentionally, I've done quite a kind of broad spectrum of knits. So I'm happy to share them with you. So let's start with the first one. So here we go. This is one of my summer knits. It is the Seashore Blouse by Kutovakika. And just to say, I'm also wearing another Kutovakika cardigan called the Pride and Pearls cardigan, which I knitted, a couple of years ago now, and it's one of my coziest and proudest knit moments. I have to say, I love this one. Anyway, I'm not talking about that. There is a video about this one as well. It was the first video that I ever made. Anyways, so this is a Seashore Blouse by Kutovakika, an all-over lace, knitted in 2 strands of knitting for olive pure silk. And I have to say, this was an absolute winner this summer. I knitted at end of summer, and it's just, well, I have to say, probably if I was to rate these sweaters, it would come right up there in the top 3, definitely in the top 5. Yeah, it's really, really so kind of like perfect almost for summer, but also for kind of a seasonal change. You can put a long sleeve top underneath it. And I wore this lots. I actually finished it probably in September, and I wore it loads and loads, and I absolutely love this. I love the drape of it. I love the softness of the silk. Even though it's not a very shiny silk, it's like a raw silk. It's really beautiful. So this is one of my favourites, and I wore it lots and lots, and I'm looking forward to the warmer weather to wear this one again. What else to say? Oh yes, she's got a skirt pattern and a dress pattern, and I'm really tempted to knit the dress this year. Quite an undertaking time-wise. I didn't find this one too difficult. It looks really complicated, but I think Kutovakika, her patterns are so well written that I found it pretty easy to follow, and yeah, definitely recommend this one. Moving on. And as I said, these are in no particular order. I just piled them up in a kind of like slightly color coordinated fashion. So here we go. This is the Roma cardigan by Mochi Knits. Here we go. Now, I was watching Isabel Page. She's a YouTuber, a young YouTuber who makes the most beautiful cinematic videos, which really inspire me. And she was wearing this creamy cardigan, and I kind of wanted to knit my version of it. And I found the Roma cardigan, and I thought it was really, really beautiful. I wanted something really, really cozy for winter, like really slouchy and comfortable and throw on, and you know. And this was probably one of my most challenging knits. Funny enough, it looks quite plain, but it's the finishing. Like, I struggle sometimes with the finishing. I had never done a real button band with buttonholes, and for some reason the buttonholes didn't really land in the middle of the band. I don't think that was really my fault. Well, nobody's fault really, but I did follow the pattern. But anyway, it's just something I noted. So let me talk a little bit about the yarn. The yarn is really special. It was gifted to me by my friend Jo Story Knits. It's called Barefaced Yarn, and it is just the softest, most beautiful British wool. And I absolutely loved working with it. It was really, really super soft, and yeah, I absolutely adore it. And yeah, definitely have a look at her website. I'll link it below. I would say that this is more of a, well, in the end, I feel like it's kind of more of a jacket than a cardigan. Did it fulfill my perfect cardigan slouchy throw-on idea? I have to say, not quite. And the reason is simply, well, two reasons. One is that it's cream, and I am, working, cleaning houses, doing, well, basically busy with an 11-year-old son and dog walking, etc., etc., etc. So basically, I found that I got these very wide sleeves, extremely grubby, very quickly. So it's now become something that I wear less frequently, which wasn't exactly the point. But I love this cardigan stroke jacket, and I learned some new techniques while I was knitting it. It's a slip stitch, and yeah, spent a long time searching for the perfect buttons as well. And yeah, so this is a lovely, cozy, jackety cardigan, and I'd really recommend this one as well. the next one I want to share is what is it? By the way, you can find out the details also on my Ravelry page. Yes. Okay, so the next cardigan is the second of my 2 cardigans last year. This is the Darling Wrap by Knitting for Olive. It's difficult to show it here, but I'm going to put in some footage of me prancing around by the lake wearing this. Yeah, this is a real... I really love all my knits. It's like my children. I couldn't choose a favourite. I only have one child, so I can't choose my favourite. My sister gifted me the book, the Knitting for Olive book, a couple of Christmases ago, and I spotted this beautiful wraparound cardigan, which reminded me of kind of classic, ballet warm-up wrap. And so I had to knit that. It's very inspired by all things balletic and romantic. So yeah, this was knitted in 2 strands. One strand of Cedar 40 by Feliz Y Punto, one of my favorite yarn dyers. Absolutely adore her colors and her bases. They're just amazing. Anyway, she does lots of different bases. This is the Cedar 40 and it's 40% silk and 60% merino. How luxurious. Yeah, so it's 1 strand of the Cedar 40 by Feliz Y Punto and 1 strand of Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair. I adore it. It's so soft. I wore this more in the summer, like in the evenings. It was really nice because you've got like a little strappy dress on, and then I would pop this on top. And yeah, so for me it was more of a summer evening. If I did yoga often enough, I would wear it for yoga. But what I would say is that I think I knitted it 1 size too small. It's really snug. If I could knit it again, and I am actually tempted because I would like it to be just a little bit bigger on me. So when it crosses over, it's quite open here, so you have to have something underneath. And yeah, so that I knitted a size 1, I definitely would like to re-knit it in a size 2 and have it not so open at the front. Such is life, but I love the construction of it. You start at the tippy ends and then you knit from there, and it's all in one piece, and it's absolutely just lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. But I would wear it more if it was slightly bigger. So now we come to my one and only shawl of the year. This was the Clint shawl by Natasha Hornby, I think. Natasha from Moonstruck Knits. And I saw this one. I think it was featured on one of Danish Musings, Hella from Danish Musings, on one of her podcasts. I forgot to say that the yarn that I got for the Seashore blouse, the lacy cream summer one, I bought the yarn in Denmark with Hella from Danish Musings. So if you're watching, Hella, hello. So she mentioned Natasha in one of her podcasts, and that's how I discovered her. And this was a no-brainer for me because I am a real Little House on the Prairie fanatic. But basically that whole kind of time period in American history of the Pilgrims and all that. I adore it. I love patchwork quilts. So I saw this and then I was like, oh yes, I have to have that one. I'm also a big fan of Anne with an E, So the colours for this kind of came a little bit inspired by that series because they use definitely the same kind of muted tones. And so I spent forever and a day choosing these colours. Justina Feliz Y Punto yarn. She was really kind because I ordered some and then I was like, I'm not sure. And then she's like, okay, I'm going to send you a selection and you can choose. So I was a little bit spoiled and I have some left over. I really want to do a colour work sweater this year with some of those lovely colours that she sent me. So this is a, what do you call it? A modular knit. Never did that before. So you're basically working all these little squares, joining them together as you knit. So there's no sewing involved. It's not really reversible because you've got all these tied in ends at the back, but that doesn't really matter. I really enjoyed knitting it. This took, well, I felt like the end was like a frilly cast off. Took a long time, but that was only because I was so near the end and when you're just like, I want to finish it. The yarn for this one again was Feliz Y Punto, and it was the base called Luxury, I think. Pretty sure. Yeah, it's Luxury. And Luxury is mainly merino with some cashmere and silk. So it is really luxury. And I made a video about this, and I have to say it's my least popular video. But if you haven't seen it, go and watch it because I really put a ton of effort into making that video. And I really enjoyed making that video as well. We were doing, there was like falls and there was a trip to the woods, to a little cabin. Anyway, that's just a plug for my own videos. I love this one. I have worn it again in the summer evenings, perfect. But I have to say I've more worn it during the winter as a scarf. So I just, I just kind of like, I don't do this in any particular fabulous way, but it is really, really cozy. I just throw it on and it's really cozy. So it's like a shawl and it's a scarf. And I'm going to Norway soon. I'll be wearing this, I'm sure, all the time. And I want to knit a hat in this yarn. Oh, talking of this yarn, this colour, I fell in love with it. It's called Whisper. And my next video, hopefully, I'm in the process of designing my own design based on one of my paintings. So do subscribe so you can kind of see the next video where hopefully I'm going to share the finished result of my first ever design. Well, not ever design, but of this time in my life, because I studied textile design at college. So I'm really excited about that, and please do stay tuned to see how that goes. I am eyeing up the fabric over there, which is this beautiful luxury hand-dyed yarn with 2 strands of silk mohair. Anyway, that was a little bit digressing. So this is the Clint shawl by Moonstruck Knits. Love.
Sundown and salty cheese. It's not a cute look getting kicked out of the bar when you're no longer 19. Still acting like a child, feeling like nobody gets it. I always start these fights, don't hate my guts right now.
Folks, we're getting it. Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. I'm going to put this on the hanger. Oh, this is my one and only vest of the year. I have never knitted a vest. So that was fun to do something different. And this one is probably the only knit this year where I've got a little bit of a cable and a bobble. I love bobbles. I'd like to design something in the future with some bobbles. But anyway, first of all, I love this little thing. I love this vest. So I saw this on Instagram. This is by a designer called Mippy, the label. And I really like her designs. Really, it's kind of like she's got a retro thing going on. And I wanted to knit a vest. And in the video where I talk about this, I show a few of the different possibilities of what I was going to knit. And I decided finally on this. And I think what I love most about this is the combination of the yarn and the design. So pretty. It's really, really pretty. Can you see in the light there? Anyway, the yarn, let me talk about that, because I didn't want to spend a huge amount of money on yarn at this point in the year. And so I actually went for quite a affordable option, shall we say affordable. This is one strand of wool from Holst called Super Soft, which I will talk more about later when it comes to the Twigs sweater. So there was one strand of fingering weight wool and a strand of mohair from Drops Kid Silk. So they're both very reasonably priced yarns. So this it didn't use a lot of yarn, and the yarn that I used was not expensive. Now, this blue colour, I don't know if you can see it, but it's not a solid colour. It's got lilac in it. It reminds me of the water lilies paintings by Mochi. This one is like, I never spoke about that in the actual video when I was making this, but I forgot to say that really kind of reminded me of the Mochi paintings, the water lily ones. So very sweet design. I love the combination of the picot edge, the cable, the lace, and the bobbles all going on with ties at the side, and that you can wear on its own in the summer. I wore it with a floaty skirt, and but also over a shirt. So it's good for all year round. I didn't worn it that much. It was, I think I finished it in like October or something like that. But yeah, I wore it quite a lot, and I think I'll wear it more this year. And if I could knit it again, I'd probably knit it a little bit longer. Although maybe it's okay because over a dress, and like I didn't have it in the summer, but I think this summer I might be able to throw that over a dress, and because it's quite cropped, it will be perfect. But yeah, I did slightly regret not having it a little bit longer, and I can't. It does bind off at the end, but it has this picot edge, and I wouldn't be able to kind of carry on the picot edge. Anyway, I'm not going to mess with it. I do love it. I think it's super cute, and actually, on reflection, I think the length is good. No, just musing. I'm just musing away here. It's so sweet. Okay, so what is next? So this next one is probably wins a prize. It wins a prize for the sweater I have worn the most. Mind you, is that fair? Because I knitted it last February, so of course I wore it the most, but also in terms of just like reaching for something. This is the Felix Pullover by someone whose name escapes me. Of course. This is the Felix Pullover by Amy Christofers. A very, very popular pattern on Ravelry, and I wanted a plain jumper, but I loved the little lace raglan, so So yeah, I had wanted to knit this sweater. I hadn't quite figured out the yarn that I was going to use. But then there's a little story about the yarn. The yarn I bought at the Barcelona Knit Festival. So if you go back to this video, you'll see a little bit of the Barcelona Knit Festival. And I bought this yarn from a company called Petit Point Parisien. It's probably, well, not only have I worn it the most, it's probably the most money I ever spent on yarn, because it is a cashmere. It's not 100% cashmere, but it's called cashmere fingering, and it has a lot of cashmere in it. I think cashmere and merino. And then I bought their silk mohair as well, and in the colour Blue Eyes. Oh, I just fell in love with the colour, and I had gone all the way to Barcelona to this festival, and it just jumped out at me. And so I thought, well, okay, we're going to splurge. And yeah, in terms of wear, I have worn this so much. And if I could, I'd probably stick it on every day. And it seems to work in every season as well. It is a real classic, a real lovely, lovely design. I knitted it quite cropped, because I bought what I could afford, which was 2 skeins, and I really wanted to get a whole sweater out of it, and I managed, but it's quite cropped, and that's why. But it was good, because I was looking for like a top-down knit, so that if I did, so I could basically stop knitting when I ran out of yarn. I love the colour. I don't know if you can see it, but again, it's slightly variegated, very subtly. Probably another kind of Moni inspired colour. I love this colour. It is similar to the little vest. Very similar. Oops. They look lovely together, actually, don't they? Oh, they're not the same though. So that's the Felix pullover. What else to say? That's it. Probably winner for most worn. And yeah, so the sweater that I'm going to design, I wanted to do something a little bit similar, not similar to this, but basically I wanted quite a simple design, but then with a lace element. So that's coming next video. Anyway, let's move on. Hello, Elsie. I don't think you can see Elsie. She's just lying down here. I'm just going to have a cup of tea. Oh, need to heat that up. Okay, so next. Here we have the Islet Drop Top by Leila Raven. This pattern is an absolute must knit. So, such a lovely light summer top. I love this one. So I knitted Leila Raven's Islet Drop Top, inspired by when Carmen knit it, Carmen from Knitting a Good Yarn podcast. And I knitted, not this one, but another version 2 summers ago. And I wore it non-stop during the summer. Really, it was so, yeah, it was so useful. It was so useful. And even in this hot weather, this yarn, which I'll tell you about in a second, was perfect. So again, this is Feliz Y Punto. It is a yarn called Solaris, and it is 75% silk and 25% linen. Oh, I just love this base. It is so nice. And then there's got these little stripes of silk mohair in between. So again, this colour, I saw it, and it's obviously it's not really quite different for me if we're all my muted tones. But I actually bought this yarn 2 years ago, and then I started knitting it, and I got a bit like, I can't handle this bright colour. So I ordered it in this pale pink, which I did before, and then I still had this bright colour sitting on my shelf. And then this year I was courageous enough to knit that. And yeah, I really love that. It's very perfect for the beach, you know, like throw over a bikini. Yeah, really, really bright and summery. Talking of bright, let's move straight on to the brightest knit of the year. This is the last thing I knitted, the last thing I finished. This is a Thalia sweater by Pearl by Ray. And it was, I challenged myself to knit this for Christmas and I did not succeed. There's a video about that. It's called The Big Fail. So I love the colour of this as well. I had the idea to knit a Christmassy bright red sweater, and then I saw the pattern, which was, I don't know, it just reminded me of like a church or temple or stained glass, like all this kind of imagery came to mind. And I really, really love this. I chose to knit it with, I used Knitting for Olive merino, fingering weight merino, and a strand of Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair. But I combined them so you've got this red and bright pink together, and I love the effect of that. And yeah, it's a beautiful sweater. I really, really like it. Questionable how much wear I'm going to get out of it because it's such a different colour for me. Yeah, I think I'm going to wear it. I have to be in the mood to wear this colour. But there'll be days when I'm in the mood. It's such a beautiful design. I feel like I might like to knit another one in a Nina colour. But yeah, this is lovely, and what else to say? I like the picot edge. I like the gathered sleeve, and yeah. So, Thalia sweater. So we're nearly finished. Pause for a second and heat up my tea. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the Twigs sweater. Just before I talk about that, I wanted to say, well, first of all, a big thank you to everybody that kind of followed along last year. It was my first year podcasting, and it's kind of like a knitting. This episode has definitely got the most kind of pure knitting content. The other videos are like vlogs, daily vlogs, and I also talk about my art and my creative process. So yeah, I'm an artist and I do watercolor paintings. And if you want to support this channel or support me to continue to be able to do these videos, then a great way to do that is by purchasing my prints. There'll be a link at the end of the video or down below to my shop, minapoly.com. And what else was I going to say? Oh yes, and please, if you haven't already, if you could subscribe. If you enjoy the content, do subscribe and yeah, give me a thumbs up because that really helps the whole algorithm thing. And the highlight of all of these videos is for me is connecting with you via the comments. So yeah, let me know which is your favorite of what I knitted. What was your favorite of what you knitted last year? I'm also curious. I'm kind of assuming that most of the people that watch this are knitters, but are any of you out there not knitters and just kind of following along because it's interesting? I'm kind of curious. I think next year, or this year, sorry, I will be, hopefully, it will be a bit more combined with my painting. Last year, to be honest, I didn't paint as much as I should have done. Well, I didn't hardly do any new paintings because the video making and the knitting was taking up most of the time that I had spare. Anyway, let's move on to the twigs. The Twigs sweater by Okamoto. Again, very popular design. I had so much fun knitting this. Really, it took a while, especially as I started off in one colorway and then abandoned ship. I had already knitted that much of the other sweater, which maybe I'll go back to one day. So this is a Twigs by Yunko Okamoto. I had seen several beautiful versions, which I feature in the video where I talk about this. The video about the Twigs, you'll get like the whole from start to finish. But just to say that I used this Holst Super Soft wool. It's a fingering weight yarn, and you knit this on 2.5 millimeter needles. Well, maybe I didn't have 2.5 millimeter. I think it was maybe 2.75. I knitted it. I think the colors I chose before was kind of like a brown background. Anyway, I was knitting away. I knew it would take me forever, and I abandoned it because I didn't love it enough to do the work. But here you see that kind of Moni watercolor lilies blue that I knitted the little vest in, because I love that color, but you can't see it that much there. And I have worn this quite a lot. It's not a very warm sweater because it's so kind of oversized and loose and fine fabric. So very good for spring, very good for autumn. I wear it just now with a long sleeve top underneath. And I guess the only thing I would say is that because I'm so precious about it, I kind of don't like just throw it on any old time. Yeah, so this one wins a prize as well. If I could only keep one of the garments that I made last year, it would need to be this one, for the very obvious reason that it was such a labour of love. I love knitting it. I'm very proud of it. And yeah, I made a ton of modifications, which you can see on the video related to this one. I noted the whole process down from casting on to the final blocking. Yeah, so I love my twigs. So that's it. That's the whole roundup of the year. Thank you so much for watching. Do subscribe, stay in touch. So hopefully I'll be posting in the next few weeks. And I am mid-knitting my own design. So that's going to be quite fun. So stay in touch, and thank you for watching, and look forward to receiving your comments. And I send you all my love, and have a wonderful, wonderful day, and see you here next time. Bye for now.